Once again, everybody put up a bad show tonight. Very bad show tonight. I'm the Godfather Soldiers from Swimming. And name my topic tonight. It's called Subpar and Snakebit in Seattle, Washington tonight. Will WrestleMania 41 be any good 1 week from tomorrow night and 1 week from Sunday night? Hold on a second. That was just a little message I got. Yeah. So let me get started. Before I start with my show, now I'm gonna open up the show a little bit of music. I'm gonna open the show with this number one hit single from 1985 called "Crazy for You" by Madonna from the 1985 movie Vision Quest, starring Matthew Modine and Linda Ferrantino. Very good movie, and very good song. So stick around, right back, and get the music playing, and back with my review. Yep, Crazy for You by Madonna. So let's get down to business with how terrible this show was tonight. Complete garbage. Okay, name my like I said, my name my topic is called Subpar and Snakebit in Seattle, Washington. Will WrestleMania 4 won't be any good. Will be any good 1 week from tomorrow night and 1 week from Sunday night. Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. Okay, let's get start. Okay, WWE kicks off, and we see both Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest arriving to the arena. We cut to Legado del Fantasma talking backstage with two Race Phoenix about his walking with his suitcase. Camera cuts to Cody Rhodes signing with weight belts backstage. We cut to the announce team discussing last week's announcement about Kevin Owens saying that he will miss WrestleMania. We cut to last week's promo of Owens making the announcement and Randy Orton hitting Nick Aldis with the RKO. Nick Aldis, Randy Orton, LA Knight, Sosioka, and Tama Tonga. Back in the arena, WWE Smackdown General Manager Nick Aldis is in the ring. He says, last week on Smackdown, we witnessed a lot of visible moments. But he is out here to discuss about one viral moment in particular. He says he has been instructed to maintain his professionalism and he is a man of his word. He introduces Randy Orton to the ring and out he comes to the fans singing his theme. Randy Orton gets in the ring and Aldis eyes him. Orton tells him that he can tell by the book in his eyes that he took last week very, very personally. Orton tells him that Aldis can't tell him that he didn't expect him to get him an RKO out there last year where he paid for an RKO in advance. Orton tells him he thinks we're even. The reason why Orton wants to speak to him is because there's not a match on the table at WrestleMania 41 for him. Orton tells him it's a very important WrestleMania. This will be the 20th time he will compete at WrestleMania. Orton says he guarantees him that he will be in Vegas. He doesn't care about what it takes. He wants a match. Orton tells Aldis maybe he can take his suit off for a night. Aldis tells Orton this isn't about money. The company is making money, and he busted his ass for 20 years to make it to the company. He tells Orton he doesn't need his money, he needs his respect. The fans chant RKO, and Orton backs away. He tells Aldis that he has his respect and he earned it a long time ago. But if he doesn't deliver a match for him at WrestleMania, he can't promise that he will apologize to Mickie James after he does what he does. And referring to his Nick Aldis' wife, Mickie James. Yeah, that's what he's referring to. Okay, well, who knows? Um, Orton kind of, I think all those kind of deserved it. I feel like somehow, some kind of feature, we might have a heel general GM, Nick Aldis. Solo, Solo's music hits. Now he comes solo with Tama Tonga. Solo asks himself, Solo asks Aldis if he can tell Orton to get out of the ring and embarrass himself. He tells Orton, hold on a second, hold on a second, everybody. He tells Orton, he'll ask Aldis if he can tell Orton to get out of the ring and embarrass himself. He tells Orton that no one wants to hear him cry. It's over for Orton. Yeah, I'm gonna talk like this for a minute, like this, everybody watching this video, because something's wrong with my teeth. He tells Orton that no one wants to hear him cry. It's over for Orton, and that it is and that is because he is in the past. Next week, LA Knight is going to end up in the same boat as Orton in the past, because at WrestleMania, the male werewolf Jacob Fatu is going to walk out as the new U.S. champion, and Orton will be sitting at home all alone. Orton tells him that it is but what is funnier is that they will both have the balls to come out and interrupt him. He tells Solo that the voices in his head has been speaking to him for a few weeks, and he challenges them to get in the ring. Solo and Tama Tonga get on the ring apron, and Orton takes Tama out, but Solo hits him from behind. Both men double team him in the corner, and LA Knight's music hits. Out comes LA Knight, and he gets in the ring. LA Knight hits Solo with a big boot, and Solo falls to the outside of the ring. Orton with an uppercut, and Tama Tonga leaves the ring. Orton and LA Knight stand in the ring, and LA Knight tells him that he knows Orton didn't get enough, and he did not get enough. By the way, try not to laugh, everybody, because my teeth is having some problems. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And you're not getting enough, he said. He challenges them both to a tag team match, and Nick Aldis says he feels pretty good about that. We cut to the back to see the women's tag team champions Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez walking backstage. And we go to a commercial break. Women's tag team gauntlet for women's tag team match: Lyra Valkyrie and Bayley versus Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are at ringside. The bell rings and we are underway. Bayley and Shayna start the match. Shayna with an armbar and Zoe is tagged in. Shayna with an armbar and she runs to the ropes, landing a shoulder tackle. Zoe back to the ropes, but Bayley with an arm drag to take down. Both women back up, but Zoe with a clothesline, she takes Shayna back in. Shayna stomps on Bayley's left hand. Zoe grabs Bayley by the arm, but Bayley gets to the ropes, and Lyra tags into the match with Lyra with a suplex. She throws Shayna into the ropes, but Zoe tags herself in. Lyra with a kick to the head, and Zoe with a drop kick on the top rope.
Shayna is tagged back in as Bayley and Zoe fight on the outside. Bayley throws Zoe into the barricade. Shayna grabs Lyra, but Lyra counters it with a jackknife cover and gets the pin. Shayna and Zoe Stark are eliminated. Gonna go to a commercial break. Lyra Valkyrie and Bayley versus Maxine Dupree and Natalya. Back from the commercial, Bayley with a knee to the face onto Natalya. Bayley runs to the ropes, but Natalya with a clothesline. Maxine is tagged in, and she lands on a crossbody off the top rope. She goes for the cover, but Bayley kicks out. She throws Bayley to the top ropes and lands on a spinning kick, followed by a suplex. Maxine with a suplex in the corner, and Lyra comes to Lyra. But Maxine throws her into the corner. Maxine with a double splash in the corner, but both men fall to the mat. Maxine with a reverse swerve onto Bayley and Lyra. Maxine goes for the cover, but Bayley kicks out. Maxine goes for the sharpshooter, but Bayley reverses it into an inside cradle and gets the pin. Maxine Dupree and Natalya are eliminated. And all I can say is this. They won't be a good tag team, Maxine Dupree and Natalya. They won't be a good tag team at all. And Natalya's going to somehow turn on Maxine, go back to a heel. I mean, Natalya needs to retire. For real, she needs to retire. Then we see next here, right here, it's got the match. Lyra Valkyrie and Bayley versus Katana Carter and Katana 10th. Katana and 10th run into the ring and they double team Bayley. Chance goes for the cover, but Bayley kicks out. Chance with a double knees and Carter is tagged in. She throws Chance onto Bayley, but Bayley gets her knees up. Bayley with a big boot to the face onto Carter. Bayley climbs to the second rope and lands on an elbow onto the back of the neck of Carter. She goes to the cover, but Carter kicks out. Lyra is tagged in, but Carter trips Lyra down. Chance is tagged in. She climbs to the top rope, and they land on the keg stand. She goes for the cover, but Lyra kicks out. Carter throws Bayley to the outside of the ring, and she lands on a twisted corkscrew suicide dive. Chance goes for a hurricanrana onto Lyra, but Lyra catches her and lands on a night ring. She goes for the cover and gets the pin. Caitlyn Carter and Katana Chance are eliminated. Then we go to a commercial break. Now it's Lyra Valkyrie and Bayley versus B5 and Michin. Back from the commercial, Michin grabs Lyra by the leg, but Lyra kicks her away and tags Bayley in. Bayley goes for a splash in the corner, but Michin moves out of the way. Michin with a tornado DDT. She goes for the cover, but Bayley kicks out. B5 is tagged in, and Michin gets Bayley in the tarantula, and B5 kicks Bayley. She grabs her and lands on a modified net breaker. She goes for the cover, but Lyra breaks it up. Michin gets in the ring and drop kicks Lyra out of the ring. Michin with a suicide dive, B5 grabs Bayley, but Bayley reverses it into a rose plant. She goes for the cover and gets the pin. B5 and Michin are eliminated. Lyra Valkyrie and Bayley versus Piper. Now it's Lyra Valkyrie and Bayley versus Piper Niven and Alba Fire. Both women get in the ring, and Alba Fire hits Bayley with a super kick. Lyra gets in the ring, but Niven with a headbutt. Fire with a right hand, and Bayley falls to the outside of the ring. Fire to the outside, and she throws Bayley into the barricade and back into the ring. Niven is tagged into the ring, and they land on a double suplex onto Bayley. Niven with a senton, and she goes to the cover, but Bayley kicks out. Then we go to commercial break. Back for the commercial, Niven and Fire double team Bayley. Fire goes for the cover, and Bayley kicks out. Bayley, one other thing, for those of you that a little piece of history, a little rest pop culture the other day. Um, I mentioned the movie Sahara. I mentioned that wasn't with Sal. I said Salma Hayek that was with Penelope Cruz. I just mentioned. Maybe did I say that already? Yeah, I think it was Salma Hayek. It was in that movie with Steve Zahn. That was Penelope Cruz. I was wrong. It wasn't Salma Hayek. It was Penelope Cruz. I think I mentioned the other day in pop culture history. When I about the movie Sorry, we had Matthew McConaughey and Steve Zahn in it. And there was also a little piece of wrestling history I forgot to mention the other day. For April the 11th, from April for April the 10th for WWE Velocity. April the 9th for WWE Velocity. Um, yeah, Booker T defeated Spike Dudley, Akio defeated Funaki, Heinrich defeated Steve Evans, Charlie Haas and Haka Hara defeated the Basham Brothers, Danny and Doug. I forgot to mention the other day. Yeah, yeah, it was start again. Both of them get in the ring. Yeah, Lyra Vaki and Bailey versus Piper Niven and Alpha Fire. Both men get in the ring and Alpha Fire hits Bailey with a super kick. Lyra gets in the ring, but Niven with a headbutt. Fire gets Fire with the right hand, and Bailey falls out of the ring. Fire to the outside, and she throws Bailey into the barricade and back into the ring. Niven is taken to the ring, and they land on a double suplex onto Bailey. Niven is with the senton, and she goes for the cover, but Bailey kicks out. Bailey back from the commercial. Niven and Fire double team Bailey. Fire goes for the cover, but Bailey kicks out. Niven is tagged in, and they go for a double suplex, but Bailey reverses it into a double DDT. Bailey makes the tag, and Lyra climbs to the top rope, landing a crossbody onto Niven. Lyra with a tornado DDT. Lyra goes for a suplex, but Niven reverses it into a suplex. Niven climbs to the second rope, but Lyra gets to her feet. She lifts Niven up and powerbombs Niven. Bailey is tagged in, and she lands on an elbow drop. She goes to cover, but Niven kicks out. Bailey grabs Niven, but Niven slams her into the mat. Fire is tagged in, and Fire with a knee onto Lyra, knocking her off the apron. Niven holds Bailey, and Fire with a senton onto Bailey. She goes to the cover, but Bailey pushes Niven onto Fire, breaking up the cover. Both teams are in the ring, and Bailey with the Bailey to Bailey onto Fire. Niven with the headbutt onto Lyra. Lyra runs towards Lyra, but Lyra throws her onto the ring apron. Lyra slides under Niven. She grabs Niven and Bailey and superkicks Niven, and Lyra powerbombs Niven to the outside. Fire runs towards Bailey, but Bailey moves out of the way. She tags Lyra in the ring. Bailey with a belly to belly. Lyra with a drop kick off the top rope. Lyra goes for the cover and gets the pin. Winners Lyra Valkyrie and Bailey. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez get in the ring and raise their championships in front of Barry and Lyra. We cut to Wade and Joe, who mentioned that there's a viral video that is being going around Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. Joe mentions that both face disciplinary action. Joe mentions last week's segment involving Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. He announces that Drew McIntyre against Damian Priest will be a street fight. Then we go to commercial break. Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. Damian Priest is walking into the ring and he is attacked by Drew McIntyre from behind. Oh, here we go. He slams Damian's head into the barricade and out comes WWE officials to break it up. Damien is helped away to the back by WWE officials. Drew gets on the microphone wearing an eye patch and asks if we were beginning to see clearly now. He says Drew McIntyre only tells the truth, and every action is justified, including dropping Damien's stupid ass. Drew says Damien has benefited every time he was screwed until this week. Boo hoo hoo. When he agreed to see him face to face because he has a one eye, and agreed to see Sin City Street fight at WrestleMania because he has one eye, but he is a man. Drew says this match is 1 year in the making, and he will make sure that no one forgets Damian Priest. He will give him the beating of a lifetime. He asks the crowd if they want to know a little secret. He removes his eye patch and says it's 100% cleared, and at WrestleMania 41, Damien is 100% screwed. Whatever. We see Damian Priest coming back, and out comes, and he attacks security and runs to the ring. Damien with a clothesline followed by a splash into the corner. He clotheslines Drew to the outside of the ring. Damien slams Drew head first into the steps. WWE officials try to break it up, and Drew gouges at them. Priest gauges Priest in the eyes. Drew grabs the steel steps and hits Priest with them. Drew grabs Damien and he heads to a future shot DDT onto the steel steps. Drew rips the necklace from around Damien's neck and stands on top of the ring steps. DIY Pretty Deadly machine guns. We cut the DIY who are with Pretty Deadly. DIY are complaining that they got screwed last week. Pretty Deadly tell them that they are out of their minds since they are losing their titles. They have gone crazy. Pretty Deadly tell them that their desperation is not a good look on DIY, and they tell them to trust no one. Pretty Deadly walk away and in come Ocean machine guns. They tell DIY to keep thinking about last week because next week on Smackdown they get a chance at the tag team titles. They tell DIY that DIY screwed them, and this is their karma. I agree. I have to agree with the machine guns. Then we go to a commercial break. Ray Phoenix versus Berto. The bell rings and we're underway. Phoenix with right hands and kicks. He runs to the ropes, but Berto with a clothesline. A chop to the chest by Phoenix. He grabs Phoenix, but Phoenix with an armbar. A kick by Phoenix, and he goes for another kick, but Berto ducks. He lands a kick to the side of the head. Phoenix in the corner, and Berto with kicks. He throws Phoenix to the corner, but Phoenix climbs to the top rope. Berto pushes him down to the outside of the ring. Berto with a splash over the top. Then we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, Phoenix with a drop kick off the top rope. He throws Berto onto the ring apron, and Phoenix lands on the double knees off the top rope onto Berto, who falls to the outside of the ring. Phoenix with a corkscrew slash over the top rope onto Berto. He throws Berto back in the ring, and Phoenix is standing on the frog splash. He goes for the cover, but Berto kicks out. He lifts Berto up, but Berto lands on his feet. He places Phoenix on the top rope, and Berto with a jumping kick to the face. He goes for the cover. He goes for the cover. But Berto kicks out. Berto kicks out. But Berto lifts Phoenix and lands on a sit-down powerbomb. He goes for the cover, but Phoenix kicks out. He places Phoenix on the top rope. Berto climbs the second rope. Phoenix with right hands and Phoenix with a hurricanrana off the top rope. He goes for a cover, but Berto kicks out. Both men get up, and Phoenix is with a spinning to the face. He jumps onto Berto's solo, but Berto flips Phoenix around and lands on a powerbomb. He goes for the cover, but Phoenix kicks out. Berto climbs to the top rope and goes for the moonsault. Phoenix gets to his feet up, but Berto lands on the second rope. Phoenix goes to the top rope, but Phoenix kicks him in the face. Phoenix presses Berto on the top rope. He lands on a Mexican muscle buster. Phoenix goes for the cover and gets the pin. Winner Ray Phoenix. Santos Escobar gets in the ring after the match. He helps Berto up. Escobar helps Phoenix up. He tells Berto to shake Ray's hand. Berto reluctantly shakes his hand and leaves the ring. Santos shakes Ray's hand and speaks to him, leaving the ring. We cut to the back, and Brian Sexton is with Roxanne Perez. I don't know why she's doing there when she's supposed to be on NXT. She says she decided to speak to Nick Aldis as a runner-up at the Royal Rumble. She is ready to fight the Smackdown Women's title. Women's title at WrestleMania. Because Tiffany Stratton cannot handle the pressure. In comes Tiffany. She tells Perez she can't talk about her. Perez tells her she hopes her actions won't cost her the match at WrestleMania. All steps out of his office as both women are arguing. Tiffany challenges Perez to a match tonight, and Aldis says he will think about it. Tiffany, he tells Tiffany to cool off, and Tiffany walks away. Then go to commercial break package. A history package airs shows CM Punk and Paul Heyman's friendship throughout the years. Chelsea Green is knocking on the train's door, asking Piper to come out. In comes Zelina Vega, who tells her she will see what kind of a champion Chelsea Green is. Then go to commercial break. Bell rings and runs away. Chelsea with the right hand, and she looks at the ramp, yelling for Niven to come out. She throws Zelina to the outside of the ring, and she throws her to the barricade. She slams Zelina face first onto the barricade, onto the announce table. Chelsea yells at Wade and Joe, telling them she wants her Secret Service out. Chelsea gets in the ring, and referee calls for a bell. Then Zelina Vega. That's what I like. Fuck Chelsea Green. We cut to the back, and Chelsea Escobar tells Berto that Angel that he saw out there what kind of a performance he wants from the God del Fantasma. He tells Berto that he is disappointed in him. He tells Angel to go with him to find Ray Phoenix. Congratulations on a job well done. It is announced that Tiffany Stratton will take on Roxanne Perez tonight. We cut to the back to see Andrade speaking with Berto. He tells him to keep his head up, but Berto tells him to mind his own business. Then we go to commercial break. Naomi Jade Cargill. We cut to Naomi telling Jade is a leech, scum, and opportunist. So many words to describe Jade, but one word is snake. Naomi tells Jade that once he got her out of the way, she got her in a rightful place as champion. She and Bianca's friendship grew, but now Bianca won't even speak to her. But she will get hers at WrestleMania. She advises Jade to proceed with caution. The camera fades to Jade, who tells Naomi that time has run out. She's not just angry, she is pissed. Naomi came at her because she thought she knew what was best for her, but she didn't. Naomi took her out because of her insecurities. Yeah, she took everything from her. Like I said, her chance at being in the last year's 2025 Women's Royal Rumble match, and a chance at main eventing WrestleMania 41 for a women's title match. But at least they will fight butt heads at WrestleMania. Yeah, Naomi. She tells Naomi that the glow is fading, and the storm is going to destroy it. And Naomi is trying to stay relevant in every way. Stay relevant in any way, in any and every way. She tells her that this is what it's all about. She is jealous that she came in to WWE with so much aura and glow. And this is WrestleMania. She's not a rookie anymore. She's her biggest threat because the storm is coming. And we see a promo with Cody Rhodes. We cut to the ring. We see the different iterations of WWE and title in the ring. Cody Rhodes' music hits, and out comes Cody Rhodes to the ring. The fans sing Cody Rhodes. Dun 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 dun. Oh! Yeah, he tells the fans that they have frustrated him, and he tells them they have been good to him. He says this is the definition of realized potential, that the mediocrity that stands. He points to the title and says that this is the best, that you are the best wrestler in the world, and that he is best to be able to carry it in its weight. That's what WrestleMania has, and it turned into. It's about the right to keep it at home. It's about the next champion, and there is one man who is trying to take that all away. John Cena. The fans chant, "Let's go Cena! Cena sucks!" Cody says Cena has neglected in making Seattle part of his farewell tour. He has opted to be in Vegas for Smackdown next week. It would be cowardice on his part to rebuttal Cena's remarks from London, but Cena had said that Cody having his tattoo makes him a common fan. Cody asks, "So what?" He has a tattoo that not because he thinks it is somebody, but because he wants to beat somebody. Cody runs through the WWE titles in the ring and gets a spinning belt. He spins the title and says, or is it someone who can carry the company on his back through the good or bad 10 years. He says Cena looks at the spinning belt and sees it is a bad thing, but he doesn't. He sees it as someone who is trying to find himself and asks if that sounds familiar. Tells Cena that he is the WWE champion. And Cena's not. He says Cena has been trying teaching and preaching, but maybe he can teach Cena something. He says fans are allowed to love somebody else. He calls himself the captain, but he is part of a roster that's CM Punk, Rhea Ripley, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, and Liv Morgan. Just to name a few. And he never mentioned Seth Rollins because they don't get along. Hold on a second. Yeah, he didn't mention Seth because they don't get along. Rock and Bowman. Yeah, he mentioned. You don't mention CM Punk, Rhea Ripley, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, and Liv Morgan. Yeah, he does his best work. He back into a corner, and when the bell rings and this is over, he will leave Cena in the ring to have his moment to say goodbye. It would be clever for him to tell Cena that his time is up and Cody's time is now. But Cena has known for a while that his time is up, but the WWE title is timeless. It will stay at home and it stays with them. Cody Rhodes is the WWE title in the air and the music hits. Then we see his next segment, the Street Profits and the Miz and Carmella Hayes. We cut to the back and Brian Saxton is with the Street Profits. They tell him that they like their Motor City Machine Guns, but they didn't have the tag titles. Dawkins says they run this division, and in come the Miz and Carmella Hayes. They tell him that the Street Profits are running the division now. And Miz tells them that the fact that those titles are not on WrestleMania is a slap in the face for previous champions. He's a 9-time tag team champion and he wants to be a 10-time champion with Hayes. Both teams face to face, and Hayes tells them they want the smoke. Now it's time for the main event. The commercial break. Tiffany Stratton versus Garcia Perez. The bell rings and we're underway. Both men push each other, and Tiffany with a headlock. Tiffany will go to the ropes and she lands a shoulder tackle onto Perez. She grabs Perez, but Perez slams her head first onto the mat. Perez with a slap, and Tiffany with a slap. An arm draw takedown by Tiffany. She lands on a snap suplex. She goes to recover, but Perez kicks out. Perez grabs the ring apron, but Tiffany pulls her back. Perez with a rake to the eyes, but the referee does not see it. Tiffany tries to spear Perez in the corner, but Perez moves out of the way, and Tiffany hits shoulder first into the ring post. Back from the commercial, Tiffany rolls Perez up, but Perez kicks out. Perez kicks the ropes, but Tiffany with a spine buster. She goes to recover, but Perez kicks out. Tiffany runs towards Perez, but Perez moves out of the way and slams Tiffany onto the mat. Perez with a moonsault off the second rope, but Tiffany gets her knees up. Perez goes for the prettiest moonsault ever, but Perez grabs her leg. Perez climbs to the second rope, but lands on a Russian leg sweep. Perez goes for the cover, but Tiffany kicks out. Perez goes for the pop rocks, but Tiffany reverses and gets out of it. Perez with a crossface, but Tiffany gets her feet with Perez on her shoulders. So she slams Perez down and lands the prettiest moonsault ever. She goes for the cover and gets the pin. Winner Tiffany Stratton. Then Charlotte Flair drags Tiffany to the outside ring after the match. She throws her into the barricade over the announce desk. Ray Bear gets in Flair's face and breaks it up. She tells her she is going to get herself fired. Flair stands on the announce table with the officials surrounding her. And as the show ends, then we go to commercial break. You see clips of last week's show, reviving Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Paul Heyman. It cuts clips to Raw involving Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, and CM Punk. Wade and Joe run through the card for WrestleMania. Saturday, main event. CM Punk with Paul Heyman versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Women's Tag Team Championship. The War Raiders to the WWE Tag Team Champions versus the New Day. Raw Tag Team Champions. The New Day versus Rey Mysterio versus New Day. Then it's Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. So we know it's Chad Gable. We all know it's Chad Gable. U.S. Championship. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. Smackdown Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair, which is going to be a terrible match. World Heavyweight Champion Gunther, Ring General Gunther versus Jey Uso. Then Sunday, Women's Tag Team Championship. Liv Morgan versus Raquel Rodriguez with the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship champions versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Sin City Fight, Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. And Raw Women's World Championship, Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. I don't know what that shouldn't have happened. Then Undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment Championship main event, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. I'll tell you, this was a terrible show tonight. This won't be a good WrestleMania. Trust me, I know why they don't have any special guest timekeepers, celebrity guest timekeepers, or celebrity guest ring announcers, or celebrities backstage interviewers announce. This won't be a good WrestleMania because I don't know why they haven't booked that, and we all know they won't have Wayne Newton do the national anthem because Wayne Newton made Las Vegas. And that's low on Triple H's part. Very low. I say it won't be good 1 week from tomorrow night, 1 week from this Sunday night. Now I got that all the way. Now it's not time for something I like to do. Oh, you know what this time is? It's time for. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Forget about the ad. Hold on a second. Hold on. It's time for. It's time for Dustin's timeline history of the wrestling birthdays, pop culture, and all that stuff. All you hear that theme is the theme for Back to the Future starring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. Can't wait for its 40th anniversary. On July 3rd, 2025, because the movie released July 3rd, 1985 in theaters nationwide. Let's go to yesterday's pro fight. Hold on a second. Okay. Yesterday would have been a happy. Yesterday would have been a happy 71st birthday to William Alvin Moody. Some of you know as Paul Bearer. He would have been 71 yesterday. He died of heart failure. He died on March 5th, 2013. Yesterday was a happy happy 56th birthday to Dustin Rhodes. Some of you know was Goldust, and that's in WWE and 7 in WCW, and natural Dustin Rhodes in WCW, and in AEW, and he was the Black Rain in TNA Impact Wrestling, TNA. Let's see what else. Canadian wrestler Kurt Von Hess would have been Kurt Von Hess. He would have been 83 yesterday. He died on March 13th, 1999. He was a Canadian wrestler. Let's see. And on WCW, let's go to some more wrestling history. Some wrestling history, and they got the wrestling birthdays. Time for April 10th. On WCW Prime, Frank Anderson defeated the Adam Flash. Sergeant Craig Pickman defeated Kenny Kendall. Nasty Boys Brian Knobs and Jerry Sachs defeated Fred Avery and George South. Stunning Steve Austin is always known as Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated Larry McMahon. Stars and Stripes Marcus Alexander Bagwell and the Patriot and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Defeated Three Faces of Fear, Avalanche, Kevin Sullivan, the Butcher. And the late Brian Pillman, God rest his soul, defeated Paul Roman. And on that same day, on Monday Night Raw, they show a highlight of Sid Justice stabbing Shawn Michaels in the back. March 10th, 1995. And it was at the Mid Hudson Civic Center, Poughkeepsie, New York. And Adam Bomb and Tatanka fought into a double countout. The Headstringers defeated Mike Bell and Tony DeVito. Common defeated Scott Taylor. Bret the Hitman Hart. The 1-2 for kids that we know with X-Pac and Bob Hardy defeated Hakushi. The late Owen Hart and Yokozuna. God rest their souls. And it was announced about the next pay-per-view in May on called In Your House. In 2005, on Sunday Night Heat, May the 10th, Val Venis defeated Tyson Tomko. Chris Masters defeated Sean Evans. The Hurricane Rosie defeated La Resistance. Rob Conway and Sylvain Grenier. Tajiri and William Regal by DQ in the WWE Tag Team Championship Triple Threat Elimination Match. Now we go to 2015 on Impact Wrestling. Awesome Kong defeated Gail Kim in the TNA Knockouts title #1 contendership match. Coyle defeated Manic in the Abyss in a triple threat match. The Rising Drew Galloway and Eli Drake and Micah defeated Beatdown Clan, Kenny King and Loki and MVP by DQ. Dave Richards defeated DJ Z. Kurt Angle defeated Bobby Lashley versus Ariel in a triple threat match to retain the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And now let's go to some pop culture. Okay, March 10th, 2015. Ex Machina was released as feature starring Alicia Vikander, Oscar Isaac, and Domhnall Gleeson was released. The Longest Raw starring Scott Eastwood, Clint Eastwood's son, and Britt Robinson was released. It was based on a best-selling novel by Nicholas Sparks. The Lost River was released first starring Christina Hendricks, Rosette Soares Ronan was released, and Eva Mendes released Lost River. Now let's go to today's April the 11th. Okay. Yesterday would have been a happy 82nd birthday to Harley Race, the late Harley Race. He died on August the 1st, 2019 of cancer. Harley Race. Arya Davari turned Arya Davari turned 36 from AEW and WWE and Ring of Honor. And let's see, Now let's go to today's wrestling history. ECW Hardcore TV. ECW World Heavyweight title match, Shane Douglas defeated the Sandman on this day. Now let's go to today's 2005 Monday Night Raw. Okay, Monday Night Raw took place on this day, April 11, 2005, at the Mark Squad of the Squad, Moline, Illinois. Christy Hemming Victoria defeated Molly Holly and Trish Stratus, and this was Molly Holly's last match. And this was her last WWE appearance. Triple H defeated Rosie and Hurricane in a 2-on-1 handicap match. It should have been a tag team. At least there was no. I don't know why it wasn't had to become a tag team match. I don't know where was Ric Flair that night. Chris Masters defeated Seth Skyfire. Cesaro Daivari with Muhammad Hassan defeated Shawn Michaels. And Shawn Michaels tells when he goes to Eric Bischoff that he wants both Muhammad Hassan and Daivari in a handicap match. But he can't do that, so he got to make it in a tag team match, and he has to find a partner. And but so Shawn Michaels had to find a partner, and it's none other than WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan. And main event, Tyson Tonko defeated Chris Benoit. And then there was a backstage segment between Kane and Lita, and they kiss, and because she likes her the way she had Trish Stratus. And then good old JR interviews Batista about his victory at WrestleMania. And then Triple H comes out and attacks Batista, and Batista fights back. Then Triple H announces that he wants that next week when Monday Night Raw comes to Madison Square Garden, he will be facing off. He wants to face JR in a match. And in my opinion, JR wants to fight JR in a match because he was buttering up the Batista. I think the reason why he wants to challenge JR in the Madison Square Garden in New York City to take it out on him, because Batista is still the World Heavyweight Champion, and he was interviewing him. That's it. That's my review for that's my all my pop culture and wrestling history and birthdays. So that's it. And subscribe to me, Godfather Soul. This was Fleming. Sorry I had to talk like this because something in my teeth. And try to get it out of my teeth somehow. So subscribe to me, Godfather Soul. This was Fleming. Hope I leave you a good night. I'm gonna close out the little music. As got the late chant, before I did the late chant, you always let's say, like dress up like Tubby Checker, sing like Lionel Richie, dance like James Brown, like to get in that hot tub, gonna make me sweat, gonna make me dry, gonna make me wet. Referring to Eddie Murphy doing the impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live. I never grew up in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s watching old school Saturday Night Live. So subscribe to me, Justin Fleming. Hit like, comment, comment video. Tonight I'm gonna close out the show with a little bit of music tonight. I'm gonna close out the show with this song with this #1 hit single from 1985 called "All She Wants to Do Is Dance" by Don Henley. So hope you have a good night. Here's something to close out the show. All She Wants to Do Is Dance by Don Henley. So good night, everybody. Here's close out the show.